What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima SWV Music. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm quite petty. When I used to get dumped, I would be so mad. Gunshots! Stop the show. Nah, I don't do that. That's what Diddy do when you don't want to clap his cheeks from the back. He get mad and want to start shooting. But again, I would have something smart to say, trying to be petty, all of a sudden because my feelings were hurt and I just couldn't take it in stride. And a lot of times as men, when the relationship ends, we have a certain level of malice, we have a certain level of hurt, and it's hard to get over it. But that's not everybody. Some of you brothers have the ability to not be petty like me, or as I did in the past, and just accept it for what it is. The woman doesn't want you anymore. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change your mind, and you broke up, and that's what it is. And you go on and try to live your life. Now, nobody is saying that this is going to be an easy thing. Obviously, when you love somebody, it hurts. Even if you break up with them and you are clapping cheeks on somebody else, booty clapping sounds. Any man can honestly tell you is that you can clap as many cheeks as you want, but for the one that you really love and if she get with somebody else, it will hurt. But it's so positive when a man is a class act. And nobody is more of a class act than Cory Hardrict. Cory Hardrict has been dealing with a lot of issues, especially surrounding his ex-wife, Mowry. She's done all kind of things, taking little digs at him on social media, blamed him, kind of said that she wouldn't be selling for less. She deserves better than Cory Hardrict in so many different words. And, again, she came out with this whole thing about how sad she is that she's now divorced.
The family dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer.
We're about to go to Daddy's house now. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her.
And again, Cory Hardrict is always the guy who basically thinks before he talks. And he's been a little bit more open about it than in the past. So he recently had a chance to show up on Ryan Clark's The Pivot podcast. And he decided to discuss it more openly. And he basically was asked a question by Ryan Clark.
For that now?
And parenting being, you being very involved, and obviously their mother being very involved, the co-parenting side of it and trying to make sure that you both are still in the same lane of raising your children to the best of your ability. How has it been adapting to that and continuing to do such a good job as y'all are?
And Cory Hardrict responds like this.
Everything is about the kids, their well-being, their future, and just co-parenting, you know what I'm saying? And keeping it still a family and keeping it love-based, still keeping God first at the center of everything and just walking with love, man. That's all it's about. I wish her the best with everything, and that's unconditional for me. I love unconditional. I can't get caught up in what's going on out there, what people are saying.
Now, you guys heard that unconditional part, right? I love unconditionally. You see? Now, you guys might not really understand that, but that's really a dig at her. Now, this is a topic that's always been on social media. There's so many people that say that men love unconditionally while women love with conditions.
Can't convince me that men don't love more purely and more unconditional. Let me explain. Women can come into a relationship and have literally nothing. They can work a part-time job. They can be making minimum wage. They could have no money in their bank account. Some women can even be in debt and men will still accept them for exactly who they are because these men are looking for partnerships and wives. But also, men will accept women's psychotic breaks. Men will accept the irrational behavior. They will tolerate so much disrespect. It can be dragged. Men that truly love women will let their women put them through the ringer, and they still won't leave. They love these women for exactly who they are, and even if she wants to change her career or go to nursing school, 9 times out of 10, he's going to help her and fund that and support her. Whether she's dressed up or she's dressed down, there's nothing about her that he doesn't love, because he fell in love with her for exactly who she is. But women, on the other hand, have a laundry list of expectations and standards that change based on the men that they're with. And then it changes even more once the men meet those requirements or those expectations, because they are expecting these men to fill the unhappy void that's basically unfillable, because it's something that she has to do within herself. Women love with conditions. They don't love purely. And it's conditional based on what he can give her. And that's why you hear so many women leave after men lose their jobs. Women expect their men to always be changing and be in tune with their emotions. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, women don't even understand their own emotions and expect men to just kind of guess as they go. And it's just not the same for men. Men love more purely and more unconditionally, and you can't convince me otherwise. Okay, bye.
Let's get back to Cory Hardrict in the unconditional. You see, even though he's being very positive, he's taking a shot at Tia Mowry in a very subtle way. What he's telling her is, listen, I love you unconditional. You know, I don't want anything bad for you. And the reason why I don't really want anything bad for you, because I'm Cory Hardrict and I know that you can't really do any better than me. And if you would have had the same attitude as me, then we could have still been together. I didn't want to leave you. I'm not trying to say that we had a perfect relationship, but see, I loved you so much unconditionally, and I'm so mature that I didn't go on the social media talking about how better my life is without you and my kids in my life. You see, I wasn't immature like you were. You couldn't grow up. You couldn't be the woman you were supposed to be to have a man like me, and you're so silly, but I still loved you anyway, because see, me being the father, it was bigger than you. It was bigger than how you felt or how I felt, because it was about our kids, and this is what we were supposed to do. But you chose something different. So now what I want to do is make the best out of the situation and love you unconditional, because see, my love ain't got nothing to do with conditions on it. I loved you for you when I met you, and yeah, you had more than me, and you know, you were doing better than I was, but that's all right though. I built myself up as a man, and you are a little girl actually, because as a grown man, you don't even really deserve me, because I love unconditional, even with your silly, misbehaving, non-mature ass. It's true. A lot of guys have to get to that point where you have to be a class act. Now, just imagine Cory Hardrict. This man had his kids taken away from him. He had to move around the corner, change his life. He wants to be there. He wanted to still be married to her. She didn't want him. He has never badmouthed him. And guess what happened on his behalf? Yeah, he's getting movie deals worth $15 million. And he's even saying, hey, if she's doing great, I want her to be successful. You know what I mean? Because it makes me successful. But I'm going to tell you one thing, you don't want her ass back. And see, that's the whole thing about men and women. Typically, we do love more unconditionally on average. You know, we're more self-sacrificing on average. Not saying that women cannot be, but you know, women, they need to be nurtured and taken care of, and men do that. And women do have their things that they do, but on average, men are like crash bandicoots. You know, we work, we slave, we really work to give our money to other people, and other people benefit from what we do. And so we do so much trying to protect the people that we love. And we're not saying that women don't, but men do it in a different way. It's a more physically exerting way. We love a lot with our efforts and what we try to do. And a lot of times you're going to go to a situation where you're loving unconditionally for certain people, and they don't love you in the same way. And this is something that men got to start to learn how to do. We have to learn to love with conditions, all right? Like women do. Women are smart in that way. They love with conditions. If you stop doing certain things and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, they're going to enforce those things on you quickly. The same thing that men always mess up when it comes to these sexless marriages. You guys have heard of those things. A lot of dudes stick with women. The women stop doing what they're supposed to be. They just stop having sex. And then the men are still like, you know what? Well, I'm going to go through counseling. That's still my wife. I'm still going to go ahead on and pay the bills. I'm still going to do all of that. And the woman is not doing her part. And you love her unconditionally, but there's a time right now to put some conditions on her. And one of those conditions are going to be, drum roll, please. Get the F out now. Conditionally, get out. Or I'm conditionally getting out and I'm not paying nothing in this house. For real, okay? Sorry. Because conditionally, as soon as she leave your ass, she's going to be getting her cheeks clapped. Booty clapping sounds by some other dude. And that's how a lot of men get used, loving people unconditionally. No, we got to start to learn that if people start changing up, okay, then we gonna start changing up. Oh, you want to be disrespectful? Okay, we're gonna deal with that, all right? We're gonna remove you completely away from our life. Oh, you want to do X, Y, and Z? Oh, okay, we're gonna start to do X, Y, and Z and see how much you like it. I've learned you got to do that. And I'm gonna tell you what, people respect you, and to a certain degree, it makes you a certain level of, let me say, unpredictable to certain ladies. And hey, that's how you gotta be. If they don't, if they love you with conditions, love their ass with conditions and see how much they like it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.